Here we have a story of a guy named Kevin, originally from the UK, an expat who migrated to the Philippines because he had no other choice. We begin this story of Kevin telling us how he met a Filipina through a friend and started chatting with her online. It was only shortly after he was communicating with her, Kevin felt that he met the girl of his dream and wanted to meet her in person, which he did just that. Kevin met her in person and it was love at first sight. He felt that this was the girl of his dream and he could not wait for his friends and family to meet her. But it was only just after a few months he realized he was a victim of scammers. Kevin unfortunately used up all of his money supporting this family and even financing of building a home. It took only just a few months that Kevin was stripped of all his money he brought with him. And Kevin tells his story.
Well, now I've been here over 4 years, and before I got here everything virtually started 2 years before I came here when my granddad died. The local council sent me a letter 1 week after my granddad died that they were repossessing the house, as my granddad's house belonged to the council, the local council, and they had changed the rules and I was not allowed to inherit the house even though we'd lived there 15 years. I had nowhere else to go. The option what they gave me was just nothing. There was a property 100 miles away belonging to the council. There was 50,000 people and I had to bid against them for a 3-bedroom property for one person.
Okay.
There was no work
So
available.
tell me about your wife and how did that all come about?
Well, after my girlfriend died a long time ago, I never really went back into mixing with people. It was just kept myself to myself in the house or out on my own. She was in there teaching her son English with the computer. Well, that's how it started. I said hello and she said hello back. Hong Kong then, that was 2010 when we first got together. In 3 years, every day, 2-3 times a day sometimes, we would video camera over the computer talking to each other, me and her friends and everything. And then I finally saved up enough to get my passport and fly out to Hong Kong to get married. Well, the first time I went, her employer scrambled the wedding because they would not let her out from some business party they were having.
And what kind of job was she doing in Hong Kong?
Domestic.
Oh, she was a domestic helper.
Domestic, yeah. She was working with somebody else.
Yeah.
And she was in the very most expensive part of living of Hong Kong. The sir employer, he was really good. He was Chinese. He got on with me as good as anything. But they scrambled the first wedding appointment we had because they put a party on for a business meeting and would not let her out the house. The second time I went back to Hong Kong to get married, it was about 6 months later when it saved again. The tram came off the tracks and we were in the car going to the registry office, couldn't make the appointment. So the third time round, we managed it. We all saw my photographs in my Facebook and everything.
So what made you...
we were great from there on.
What made you connect with your wife? And how old is she?
Now she'll be 40.
And
just,
then how old was she when you met her?
She'd be 30 when I met her. And I was 40.
And you were 40?
Yeah. We got on great together like a house on fire. And when I managed to get a visit visa for the UK, she was helping me with jobs I was doing and she just fitted in like a normal worker. Anything what I do, she just fitted right in.
And then tell me where you're from, what country and so forth.
I'm from UK.
Okay. Okay, where in the UK?
Yorkshire, East Yorkshire to be precise.
Okay.
Now, at the time, before I came here, I was fighting the council for the house, my family over my granddad's death, who died in my arms, and then my employer at the same time for my salary. And I was fighting all three for 2 years before I came here. And it got to the stage where, no, don't come here. They've paid for a ticket for you to return to the UK and never told me.
So,
I was going back to carry on the business and to meet up with my wife, and they never told me what they'd done behind my back. So then I got the tricycle straight back to my wife's sister's house, and the look on their face when I turned up, they could have died. And that was thanks to my wife's cousin, who's, you know, they've really helped.
yeah.
They've been there for my wife all the years we've been married. Because when she's renewed her contract, she's had somewhere safe to stay where I know she's been safe. So
Wow.
I'm always grateful to them. And now when they lost their job in the pandemic, they're out here now, where I am now. And they
So, what's your purpose of making this film?
I need help from somebody. Because the situation my wife's sister and my wife have left me in is I don't exist. I have nothing. I tried to get a job when I was there in Pangasinan to help them out. They stopped me from doing that. And that was 700 pesos a day. And the lady said, yeah. She interviewed me, said, yeah, it's fine, you don't need to talk Filipino. We manage okay. I'll send you to Manila to my husband and he will do all the paperwork with immigration and then come back and start. We'll send the under manager with you to go through it all. And then the next thing when I was talking to them, they said, well, your wife's sister doesn't want you doing the job, they need you in the shop.
Wow.
They stopped me from doing it. And then they complained I'm in the shop all the time. I had nothing else to do. Couldn't go anywhere for the pandemic, for one.
Yeah.
Didn't know anywhere to go. I have no UK income coming to me here, and I cannot draw my pension for nearly another 20 years. I'm 50 and the UK pension is 67, unless it's risen again. By the time I'm nearly 70, it probably will be 70 years old to get the pension. It will increase again.